How's it going, everybody? Ben from basesetmew here, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am finally doing another binder update. It has been half a year again, so this time around it's 4.5 years after I've started collecting, and this time around, instead of me like flipping through the pages and pointing to like various cards and saying, oh, this one is new or this one's I've had for a long time, this time around I've actually kept all the cards from the various mail days and some cards that I've pulled on the channel in this deck box right here. So this time around we're actually going to put them in together into the binder, which is I think a really nice change to the usual binder update video. And as you can see right here, we've got quite a bit of cards to contend with. I think it's over 40 cards that we can put into this binder together. So I'll just have this deck box off to the side right here and just pull out the first card right here, the Salamence Level X. Lots of Level X cards in here, and this one I've bought for $86, which is 75 euros. Let me just flip through the few pages right here, and we're already at the page we need to fill right here. So let me put the Salamence in right here. Very nice, look at that one. The first Level X card, the page is gonna be very filled after this one. In fact, my next mail day that we'll be releasing a little bit later in December will actually complete this Level X page, so that's really nice. Here we have the Mesprit Level X right here. Bought this one for $75, which is 65 euros. Man, I love these Level X cards. I'm so glad I decided to get them in the end. And I'm super happy. They look super cool because they are the successor to the original EX cards, which, you know, I'm a huge fan of, obviously. This was my childhood back here. But these ones are a very great evolution of those cards right there. So, just the Mesprit right now. Here we have the Cresselia. Very cool as well. Also, I might be getting the spot for some of these cards wrong. I have to be honest. It's been a little while since I've last looked at my binder and even, you know, laid out where I want the cards to be. So, oops. So for the next binder update video, these might be in a different spot. But for now, I'll put the Cresselia right here. Oh, right. I've bought the Cresselia for $52, which is around 45 euros. Next up right here is the Giratina. So the Giratina Level X actually has a promo card, but this is just from a normal set. But this one is also really cool. This one cost me $63, which is around 55 euros. I'm hoping that I'm putting these in the correct space. Actually, no, I'm not, because I do want to have the, whatchamacallit, the Dialga and Palkia somewhere here. We'll see where I end up putting everything. As I said, I might switch it up here and there. Here we have the Flygon, one of my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon, and the Pokemon Company seems to hate the idea of a Mega Flygon. So because, like, right now, it hasn't been released, and according to the leaks, I don't think we're gonna get a Mega Flygon, which is kind of disappointing. But at the same time, I think most people were expecting a Mega Flygon, and that's why the Pokemon Company probably decided not to do it, because it would be too obvious, right? But this card right here cost me $193, which is 168 euros. This was on the pricier side for the Level X cards. Not the most expensive Level X card by a long shot. I think that title belongs to the Charizard that is up a little bit later. But here we have the Flygon. I have to figure out where to put all these cards. As I said, I might switch these spots around after recording because I have to figure out the layout. But for now, we'll put the Flygon right next to the Salamence right here. Alright, and here we have the Darkrai Level X, also from Gen 4, just like the Cresselia back here. And this one, I'm pretty sure this one also has a different version, although for this one, this is actually the promo as opposed to the Giratina. This is from a normal set, but there is also a promo card of the, I'm pretty sure the exact same card, you know, no different attacks and whatsoever. But this one, I really preferred this artwork over the other one, unless I make things up. But I'm pretty sure there is a different Darkrai Level X. But this one cost me $63, which is 55 euros. I'm actually kind of curious because most of these cards I've bought like a pretty long time ago. I mean, half a year, right? I wonder how some of these prices actually have changed. I know some Level X cards have gotten pretty expensive, same with the EX cards. But there we are with the Darkrai. Next up, here is the Charizard that I've mentioned. Look at this one. look at this Charizard, Team Galactic Charizard, if you will, because you have Cyrus back here. Very, very nice. This one, I kind of recognize the icon. I think this is from Supreme Victors. Same with the Garchomp right here, the original Garchomp, not the Celebrations reprint, which I thought was really, really neat. But here we have the Charizard. Look at this one. This one was the most expensive level X card that I've bought in one of my mail days. $196, I should say, and 170 euros. There you go. Still very, very cool, and glad to have this one in the collection as well. Going into the middle, fitting for a Charizard. Next up right here, we have the Azelf. Look at this one. Azelf level X. Very, very nice. In a similar vein, obviously, I have the Lake Guardians. I'm still missing the Uxie, but I will have that in the next mail day, so that's something to look forward to. Here is the Azelf, very, very nice. I paid $46 for this one, which is around 40 euros. Very nice. As I said, I'm not sure if this is the correct orientation these should go in, to be fair. As I said, I might switch these around or whatnot. But there we are with the Azelf. I should probably prop up the binder pages so without the glare you can actually see what's going on. Alright, I guess that works. Now we can appreciate the pages without too much of a glare. Very, very nice. Right, next up though, we have one of my personal favorite level X cards right here. The Gardevoir level X. This card actually brought me onto the level X cards because I've seen a Twitter post when I first discovered them of the Japanese version of this card actually. And I thought to myself, wait, these actually look pretty cool because they look almost identical to the EX cards, right? You have the silver border, you have that really cool old school holofoil pattern on the card itself, and you have these kind of like 3D illustrations, but these ones look way better than some of the ones from the Gen 3 era. I mean, yeah, you can kind of see the Entei looks kind of rough, not gonna lie. But they do have a certain charm, though. They do have a certain charm. Here we have the Gardevoir, so let me put that right here. And the Gardevoir ran me $115, which is around 100 euros. And here we have the last level X card for now. As I said, the next mail day is going to complete the page. But for now, it is only the Lucario, and this one cost me $69, which is around 60 euro. Man, I can't wait to show you guys what I've bought for the next mail day, because it's actually gonna crazy. This page is gonna look super cool once it's completely filled. Man, oh man. I mean, you probably know some of the cards that go in here. I mean, I've said the Uxie and then the Dialga and Palkia. I think I don't want to get an Arceus level X. I think I want to put a different card there. We'll see what I end up doing, but for now, this is the page for my level X cards, and if we flip over, this is where my gold stars are going to live, and as of right now, I only have a single gold star card, which is the very, very lone Regirock gold star, although this one I got for an incredible price. If you haven't seen the mail day, you're not gonna believe me when I tell you the price. I've bought this for $210, which is 183 euros. And this was even graded. If I remember correctly, it might have been in a CCIC 8.5, although I might be getting the grade wrong. It was definitely graded by CCIC, the Chinese grading company, but I don't remember if it was actually an 8.5, but it ended up being such a good deal. Might have just been an 8. But there we are, very, very lonely right here in the corner of the Regirock. But what else are you gonna do? If UPS didn't allegedly steal my parcel, I would have a Rayquaza sitting in here. But you know, you can't have everything. But there we are, and we're already done with this page. So for this one, I originally thought I was gonna do crystal cards, but I think I've probably disregarded that plan. Still don't know what I want to do for this one. I have to figure something out, but I think the gold stars are still very much on the table because the gold stars, well, they're like the pinnacle of the Gen 3 Pokemon TCG, right? And that's why I definitely do want to fill this page with them, and I'll figure something out for this one. Right, onto the prime cards on my collection, right next to my alternate arts. Kind of like a cool send-over, if you will, because if you look at some of these pages, you know, we're starting it out with the EX cards, you know, my childhood, then we move on to the next generation, kind of, the level X cards, and then we also, maybe I should put the gold star somewhere else, but I feel like this is a good spot, you know, the pinnacle of Gen 3, right here, because these are the spiritual successors to the OG EX cards, even though these are from Gen 4, you know, Diamond and Pearl and Arceus, or Platinum, I should say. And here we have the pinnacle of Gen 3, and then we're moving it on to the Prime cards, still featuring that silver border, which is super iconic. But here we have the first one for this page, and we're actually going to fill this page completely in this video. Here we have the Kingdra, very, very cool. And this one cost me $58, which is around 50 euros. Some of these have gotten crazy expensive. These two and the Gengar, I mean, when I bought the Gengar, it was already super expensive. But like right now, some of these cards have been picking up. I mean, I guess it's just because of the bubble and everything is getting expensive. But here we have a Scizor. I think this is one of the few cards I never actually featured in any mail day or anything. Because I'm pretty sure I've bought this, like, I want to say off camera and never actually featured it in a mail day. I just bought it whenever. But this one is really cool. Actually had kind of a hard time finding the price I paid for this one, but it ended up being $35 or 30 euros. But I know that this one is way more expensive now, because I can barely find any listings for this one in a good condition. But here we are with the Scizor. I have to figure out where to put this. Maybe just put it right here. I guess that fits. Very, very nice. Alright. Here we have the Houndoom. Kind of like the meme card, the meme prime card, but still very, very cool. And this one ran me $58, which is 50 euros. Very cool. Look at this one. Man, I love these prime cards. That's why they have a dedicated page in my main binder. I like them that much. Here we have the Celebi. Look at this one, also really, really cool. Man, and from 2010, 15 years old by this point. Super, super cool. And this one ran me $58 again, which is 50 euros. Very nice. Let's put the Celebi right down here. And actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna switch up the Kingdra right here. Alright, and last but not least, we have the Gengar Prime right here. Look at this one. Gengar is a super popular Pokemon, and he's only gonna get more and more fans, because I suspect because of that Mega Gengar they have actually revealed from the Mega Dream EX special set that's releasing a little bit later this year, or a little bit later this month, I should say. Looking at the date, it's going to be later this month. It's crazy to think about it. But there we are, the Gengar. Alright, this one, most expensive prime card, I'm not sure in the binder, but definitely in like the mail days over the past 6 months, because the Gengar actually ran me $275, which is 239 euros. So definitely a really, really expensive prime, but there we are. Right, and that finishes the prime page. It looks super cool in my opinion, right? You have both evolutions, you have the Tyranitar, you have the Kingdra, the Celebi, man. All of these are super cool, and I'm so happy that I got to finish this one. Right, on to the next pages right here, while I slowly but surely move on all of my alternate arts. Here we have my V-Star Universe, no, VMAX Climax page right here. V-Star Universe is this one, and here is where my SARs begin. And just one page over, here is where we're going to put our first SAR that we were missing. We have the Terrapagos EX. This is going to look great next to the Hydreigon. So this Terrapagos ran me $35, which is around 30 euros. Very, very nice. So let's put you right here. Alright, unfortunately this spot will stay empty for the time being. This is where I want to have the Pikachu from Surging Sparks, but don't have it for now. It's still kind of pricey, so I don't know when I will be able to pick that up, but if I do, it will be in this spot. But we do have plenty of other cards to add, the first of which being the Team Rocket's Moltres with Archer in the background right there, illustrated by my favorite artist, Akira Igawa. And this one is an incredible card. I mean, just look at it. It's so cool, man. It's so cool. And this one ran me $138, which is 120 euros. And it's going right here. Really, really cool. Sticking to the theme of Team Rocket, here we have Team Rocket's Mewtwo. Look at this one, also from Destined Rivals. Man, this looks super cool. Or Glory to Team Rocket, or F of Team Rocket, the Japanese set. And this one was kind of odd, because I bought this as a PSA 9, but even the PSA 9 price for this was way lower than a raw copy, because I paid $220, which is 191 euros, and I've bought this off Card Hobby, which is the platform where I've made a lot of really great deals. So there we are, and it's of course going into the very, very important middle spot right here. Super nice. Here we have another one of these trainer featured Pokemon, and I do know that Hop isn't a very popular character, but the illustration itself is so cool. It's super cool. Zacian with Hop. And this one was also incredibly affordable. This one cost me only $17, which is 15 euros. Man, you hate Hop all you want, but you have to admit that Dom killed it with this illustration. Finally, in the binder. There we go. Very nice. Not quite done yet with the trainer Pokemon right here. I do have the Iono right here, Iono's Bellibolt, one of my personal favorite ones because, well, it's also illustrated by Yu Nishida, but then Iono is kind of cool, and the Bellibolt and all, really, really cool looking illustration. Bellibolt also super iconic for Iono, of course, which is why this is super, super cool. I mean, I guess all of these trainer Pokemon are super iconic for the respective trainer, right? I mean, Giovanni and Mewtwo, although this is technically Team Rocket. But, you know, Iono's Bellibolt. This one was more expensive than the Zacian. This one cost me $82, which is 71 euros. And I'm pretty sure most of these, like the Hops Zacian, the Iono's Bellibolt, and a few other ones in here were actually graded beforehand, which is why they might be a little bit more expensive than the usual raw price for these, but I think it's still fine. Next up, we have N's Zoroark right here. Look at this one. Man, this one was $40, which is 35 euros. Super cool illustration. And yeah, as I said, this one was also graded, but you know, I've cracked them all out of their cases, slapped them in two sleeves, double sleeved of course, and stuck them into my binder right now. Okay, here we have the Cynthia's Garchomp EX. Look at this one. This one was also more on the expensive side for these SARs, because this one cost me $196, which is 170 euros. But this one is such a cool illustration. You have Cynthia in the battle arena right there. Cynthia, if you don't know, my favorite champion out of all of them. And Garchomp is just super badass. And then once again, Garchomp super iconic for Cynthia, of course. And this one is super cool. Now, I am missing the Lily's Clefairy, unfortunately. Although, judging from the page, I really wouldn't know where to put it. Honestly, I might forego the Pikachu right here and put like Lily up here, or Lily's Clefairy, I should say, like up here. I definitely want to hang on to the Hydreigon. Not sure about the Terrapagos. I do really love the artwork, but if I had to choose between either this one or the Pikachu, might want to get rid of this one, but we'll figure out what we do. But there we are. Really haven't planned ahead of this layout. I thought I did. Because the next page right here, as you can see, my Evolutions from Terastal Festival EX, last year's high-class set. By the time this video comes out, probably old news. Everyone is talking about Dream or Mega Dream EX. But we do have a few cards to add, of course. First up is the Vaporeon right here. This one cost me $40, which is 35 euros. And I do have to say this is definitely the weakest out of all of these 10 illustrations, actually, because Eevee has 2. This is probably the weakest. This is my least favorite one, but if you need a complete set for all the evolutions, right, if you're doing an evolution page. So there we are. Next up, we have the Leafeon. This is actually among my probably top 3 illustrations out of the Terastal Festival EX expansion. I think this works super well. This works super well for Leafeon. And this one cost me $50, which is 45 euros. Really like this one. And this one is going right here. There we are with the Leafeon. Put it in without damaging card, hopefully. And we also have the Jolteon right here. Pretty sure I've bought this like a while ago. Man, this is super odd. The Leafeon might be the most recent one together with the Vaporeon. But the Leafeon, or the Jolteon I should say, mixing up all the evolutions. The Jolteon definitely was bought a while ago. But there we are. This one cost me $35 or 30 euros. And you know, by this point in time, these might have actually picked up. As you're gonna see right here, because this is actually the last evolution that we'll be able to put into the binder for now. The Espeon. This is also really cool. Illustrated by Sui. And this one also works super well with the Leafeon. Super nice. And this one, right, this one cost me $50, which is 44 euros. Alright, put the Espeon right here. And as you can see, only 2 cards are missing. This is where the Umbreon would go, if I had it. And this is where the Sylveon would go, or will go, because I'll probably pick those cards up sooner rather than later, right? I'm kind of hoping, while everyone is focused on Mega Dream EX, maybe people like ignore the other cards from last year's high class set, and that will be the perfect time to snag up some copies, because with the next mail day, right, I'm speaking about the next mail day, I actually have all the letters right here, like sitting next to me. It's actually prepared. I just need to find the time to actually record the opening, which, you know, these past few weeks have been a little stressful, but that's besides the point. And well, once I do have these ones, this page will also be complete, but we must move on to the next era of SARs, so to speak, because I still have this one right here. I say next era of SARs, I think I'm still missing some of the older ones. I know I'm still missing the Charizard, like the shiny one from Shiny Treasure EX. Still want that one. So I might have to rearrange some cards here and there, but we'll see what I end up doing, of course. All the spots where these cards are at are subject to change, but I figured this would be a great idea to put them into the binder together. Right, the Mega Kangaskhan, $35, which is 30 euros for this one. And this one is super cool. Man, super nice. And putting it right here. Next up, we have the Lopunny EX right here. Man, this is also really cool. This one is also one of the very few cards I've bought off camera. This was not featured in a mail day or any other video. And this one was actually incredibly cheap. I say incredibly cheap. This one still cost me $25, 22 euros. It has gone down drastically. I think I've recently checked the price and it's sitting at like 13 euros. That's how much it has gone down in price, which this is an amazing card. I mean, you can't go wrong with that one, right? It's an SAR for 13 euros. That's a no-brainer to me. Pick up a copy if you can. Man, even if you don't put it in your binder, just like grab like a one-touch case as I featured like ages ago in my, you know, how I protect my Pokemon cards videos, magnetic case, and then just put it on a shelf somewhere, or maybe take it with you at work, put it on your work desk if you are able to do that. Next up, we have the Mega Latias EX. Also, I've just realized that I should probably rearrange the Lopunny, because right now we are in M1, and Lopunny is actually from M2, you know, the second expansion for the Mega Evolution era. So, we'll put Lopunny here for now. Here we have the Latias EX, another really cool illustration by my favorite artist, and man, the colors, look at this one. I've mentioned this in my mail day as well. It looks super cool. The texture as well, something that the English cards cannot replicate, try as they might, but they just can't. And this looks super nice. And this one, also surprisingly cheap for a card of this caliber, in my opinion. $40, 35 euros. That's incredible, right? That is absolutely incredible. Okay, next up is the Absol right here. and this one by Mitsuhiro Arita, and this one also incredibly cheap, $20, which is 17 euros for this one. Very, very nice. Let's put you up right here, and let me see what else do I have. Okay, so I have the Mega Lucario right here. This one was on a little bit of a pricier side, $60, 52 euros, but this one is still cheaper than the Gardevoir, which I still want to get at some point, obviously, but this one is really cool. And just to think of it, what I might do, because I still need the Gardevoir, right? I'll put the Lucario here, put the Lopunny here, and then I can have the Gardevoir here, and it's kind of like they're fighting with each other, right? Because that's how it's done in the trailer, right? In the Japanese trailer for Mega Symphonia and Mega Brave, Lucario and Gardevoir are actually fighting each other, which is really, really cool. So this is where the Gardevoir would go, and this is like, you know, empty spots for all the other really cool Mega Evolution cards that have been released or will be releasing later this year. You know, as you can see, I still have some space left, although once these 3 spots are filled, I only have a single double page left for all of the upcoming Mega SARs. And that's kind of worrying me, because we're like at the start of this era, and there's going to be so many cool cards that I have no idea if I'm ever going to be able to fit them all. You know, I kind of have to face the fact that at some point I will have to get a new binder. I will have to get a new main binder, because at some point I am going to run out of space. But for now, I'll push that to the future. That's a problem for future me. Sucks to be him. Alright, one of my Mew pages right here is missing a spot. And this is actually going to be filled with a very special card indeed. This is the, I guess, blanks Mew, because you would probably write your name right here, kind of like the same with the birthday Pikachu, right? And this one is really, really cool. Also a play promo, which usually means very, very expensive. Kind of like with this one is also a play promo, although this one is much, much rarer and much more expensive than this one. Still though, I got this also for an incredible price back in the day. I actually haven't checked how much this is these days, but way back when I paid $180, which is 157 euros, which at the time was such a great deal. And I imagine, you know, with this card getting older, it's only going to be better and better, the deal that I've got. Also, I've recently checked the price for this Mew EX, and it's rough. It's really rough out there. If you're a Mew collector and you really want this card, it's super rough. This has gotten super expensive. I mean, it was expensive when I bought it. I bought it for roughly $1,000 for PSA 7 and cracked it out of the case, and now it's living in my binder. But even raw copies sell for like $2,000 right now, which is crazy. But here we are with the Blank's Name Mew. Look at this one. Super, super nice. And fits in right here with all the other Mew cards. Alright, one more empty spot right here, and I thought this would be fitting because it's right next to another proxy card. Yes, this actually isn't real. If this Phanpy Mew was real, it would probably sell for like, I don't know, $20,000, $50,000 or something like that. This is incredibly rare if it were real, but no, this is just a proxy, but I like it that much. But as I said, it would fit in together with another proxy. This is a proxy of the simplified Chinese exclusive Mew card, where only 1,111 copies are made, and they are still giving them away, Pokemon China. I think the last giveaway wave, or the last giveaway winners, will be announced December 15th, and then after that, they're all out of cards, so the last wave will be released sooner rather than later. And this card, I have a lot of things to say about this card, but for the sake of this video, I will refrain. The only thing I will say about this card, and I say this as a Mew collector, I say this as someone whose favorite Pokemon is Mew, don't bother with this card. Don't bother with the real deal. You'll only be disappointed. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Because even for me, this proxy is good enough, right? I mean, if you just look at it like this, it looks real, right? It looks completely real and it looks fine. I love the illustration, which is why I bought this proxy. This proxy was also incredibly cheap. I only paid like $10. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find this exact same proxy anywhere. I've searched like eBay, I've searched Taobao, I've even searched AliExpress, and this particular proxy seems to have disappeared from the face of the earth. It's probably like Pokemon China sent out the mob or something to get rid of the person who printed this. But let's move on quickly before it takes an ugly turn. And right here we have the Pikachu and the God of War page right here. Still want to replace this God of War, but haven't come around to it. But there we are. Here we have one of my favorite pages in my binder, the Friends in Alola page, all in simplified Chinese, of course. These look super cool. My favorite full art trainer. Man, and here we are. This one was empty for the longest time. If the camera would focus, there you go. This one was empty for the longest time, so it's time to fill this page. First up right here, we have Steven from Ancient Origins, I'm pretty sure is the set. I kind of recognize the symbol. And this one ran me $51, which is 44 euros. And Steven, in case you don't know, is my second favorite champion, but probably my second favorite Gen 3 character, because, you know, you also have May, obviously. May is my #1 favorite character from Gen 3, but then Steven is a close second, of course. I really like Steven. But there we are. Actually, hang on, I put Steven in the wrong spot. I do apologize. I have to put Steven right here, because you're actually gonna see we have Archie's Ace in the Hole. I'm actually gonna reveal the next card right after, which is Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. You know, we have Maxie with Team Magma and then Archie with Team Aqua. The main villains for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and then I guess Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire respectively. There we are. But these are really cool. So for the Maxi I paid $46, which is 40 euros, and for the Archie I also paid $46, which is 40 euros. So there we are. And then of course you have these old school trainers whose texture is really nice, really defined, and I really miss this texture. I wish the Pokemon Company would just print the English cards in this kind of texture, but from what I could gather, the QC for this one was even worse than what we get nowadays. It was incredibly difficult to print these in good quality, and most of them just end up being damaged, so maybe it's better they moved on to different texturing, but there we are. We do have two more cards right here. I also have the Bridget right here. Another really cool card. And this one cost me $46, which is 40 euros. And the Bridget will go, I guess I'll put it right here, because I do have one spot empty for Bianca. Because right here, this is the last of the old school trainers, the Giovanni's Scheme. Look at this one. I've mentioned it in the mail day where I unboxed this. This has been on my wishlist for the longest time. I've put this on the wishlist probably like 3 years ago or something, and then finally decided to buy it. And it was a great purchase. $35 or 30 euros. Really great purchase. And the card looks super cool. Let's put you right here, if I can. There we go. And this is probably where the Bianca will go if I ever find a good copy. The Bianca is kind of strange because the Bianca is kind of expensive at the moment. I haven't been able to find a good copy for a decent price, so I will have to wait a little bit longer to fill that page. And here we are with my SAR full art trainers. I do have a handful of more of these left. I do have the Larry right here, Chinese exclusive, very cool. $35, which is 30 euros, but at the time, this freshly came out, so I definitely overpaid for this one. Pretty sure this is still sitting around $20 or something like that. So this, I definitely overpaid, but that's fine. I still love the card, and it looks incredible in my binder, doesn't it? Look at this. It looks so cool, man. Let me actually put the binder like this, because we're filling this page. And next up, another Chinese exclusive trainer with the Rika right here. And this one cost me $90, which is 78 euros. Also a bit overpriced because when I bought this, it was already graded in a CCIC 10, actually, if I remember correctly. So I definitely overpaid for this one a little bit, but I still think this is a really cool card. And it looks great right here, don't you think? Looks super cool with these exclusive ones. Maybe I'll switch them around, but for now they stay right here. Another one right here is the Giovanni. Another one from Glory of Team Rocket. Man, and this one was incredibly cheap. $20, which is 17 euros. That is super cheap, right? And it goes right here, right down here. Alright, only two more cards left to add right here. Next up we have the Lily. This one I actually pulled in a recent opening, and I'm still through the roof that I actually did, because I bought 10 random packs from my local grocery store. Where else but my local grocery store? But there we are. Man, this is super cool. Last time I checked, this one, specifically the German version, was sitting at around $67, which is 58 euros. But still, this, I will never replace this card because, you know, I pulled it myself from random packs, which is why I still have the Lugia alternate art all the way back here somewhere. Where is it? There you go. I've also pulled this from 10 random packs from a local card store, actually, with this one, or local game store, I should say. And I will never, ever replace this card. I don't even care if it's off-centered, but I will never replace this card because it's just so special to me, right? And there we are with the Lily. One final card left to add to the binder, and then we're already done with this binder update video. The Perrin right here from, I might get the set wrong, but I want to say Crimson Haze. Editing me is going to have a field day if I get it wrong. But here we are. All right, this one cost me $69, which is around 60 euros. There we are, and putting it in right here. And as you can see, one more spot on this page, and then just one page left for future SAR trainers. And I think I still have a few full art trainers that I do want to get. I think the Hilda, that's one of them. Ethan, that's probably one of them. I think I won't get Wally, even though Wally, come to think of it, his SAR card is actually incredibly cheap right now. And even though I'm just not getting it because I have limited space in this binder, I still think it's an incredible card, and you should absolutely grab yourself a copy of Wally's SAR. But there we are. Who else do I want to get? I think it's just Hilda and Ethan. I might have missed a few here and there. But, well, as I said, that does it for this binder update video. Let me just close it off right here, flip it around, and then take my graded cards that I used to prop up the binder out of the frame, and just say thank you for watching if you made it this far into the video. I will definitely do one more after another half a year, which will mark my 5-year anniversary of collecting, you know, returning to the hobby. And I'm super excited for when that time comes, because I hope by the time that comes, the binder will be almost completely filled with all the cards that I can buy on short notice. I think I've alluded to this in a few of my other videos. Once I do get to the gold stars and whatever else I want to buy, crystal cards, I don't know what else is going to go in there. It's going to be really difficult not only to do regular mail days, but also to do binder update videos. So I kind of dread when that time comes around, because that will probably mean the end of mail days unless I decide to do what I've kind of had in mind, start a second main binder, not a secondary binder, a second main binder. And I do want to grab just the holo cards from like the Gen 3 sets, right? Like holo cards from EX Sandstorm, EX Deoxys, EX Emerald, EX Dragon, so on and so forth, because just the holo cards to me are also incredibly special, and I actually had that planned for a really long time. So whenever I do get to the point where this is either completely filled or like 90% filled, that's probably when I start buying a few of these other cards. But as I said, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. Thank you everybody for subscribing, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Right here's the video that you think is best suited for you. Right here's the subscribe button. Click this one first, then click this video. Check out any of the other videos in the description below, and I hope we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, take care.